Thank you very much.
One point I can add to this, nowhere in the Constitution is the word drugs used. Therefore, the idea of the constitutionality of drug transportation, drug sales, so forth, is nonsense. What it is, what is in there are arguments of business and the transportation of drugs, of chemicals in general, for sales and profit. So if you really were to go to the actual the writing of the Constitution and the first 10 amendments, you would find that there was no mention in there that would make drug illegality a national problem. And this is something that is quietly ignored by the federal government. They say these things are constitutionally illegal, and that is nonsense.
There's a panel tomorrow around 5 o'clock on drug policy and what we can do, but there's so much fear and misinformation that we have to do public education. And I think developing, a couple years ago it was hope and fear was the Burning Man theme. So that's where the principle of the psychedelic therapy is. We show that society there's certain hopeful properties that can come that can be benefiting even mainstream, even armies and police, and that people are dying and post-traumatic stress. So we have to counter the fear with the hope and help people comfortable, because even when you're completely comfortable in a therapy setting, it's really difficult. And so we have to work with a culture that's already really overly scared.
The lysergic acid amide, the material that is in the...
My inner child. That's right, my inner child.
Where does that voice come from?
That's our Cradle Heights desert living. The excitement has only just begun. You've heard this in Malaysia, 1 bedroom, no garage home.
Oh, the morning glory, the wood rose, Hawaiian baby wood rose. Oh, it's very, very definitely effective, very powerful. It's not LSD, but it has much of the ergot action of the ergot is there, but it's not LSD as such. Oh, it's a natural material, and it's very definitely a one which should be considered. I don't know. I don't think it is illegal. I don't know.
I think the heat and the time may be catching up with us. How about 2 more questions? And before we do that, it may be at the same time as Rick Doblin's panel. I hope not. But around 5 o'clock tomorrow. In shift camp, we'll be doing Q&As again. So if there are any really serious questions left over, you're welcome to come to shift camp, and we'll continue this. In the meantime, the purple bottle, I can't hear a thing, dear. Okay.
Any other side effects from the fourth
The spinal
Okay.
The MDMA and spinal fluid is nonsense. That's nonsense.
It's nonsense.
I think I got a little head rush. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That distorts nicely. Okay. That's cool.
Gee, I feel I should be answering you. But, okay.
Measurements of blood pressure changes, measure of strange appetite changes.
Hey, that's good.
I beg your pardon?
I like that, okay. I think it's pretty much the same. This is about as much as we're going to get on vocals, so we'll build everything around it.
I think we're getting a message here.
All right. Yep. We've got our first contestant in the Dust Mask.
Oh, God.
You're louder. Oh my God, let me out of here. Somebody's going to harass me.
Did you get any psychological toxicity?
Yeah, you calling a fucking art car?
Psychological.
Yes, I did get psychological changes, but they were grossly modified by the nausea and by the medical toxicity.
Yeah.
And once you are into a situation where you have toxicity and it's overpowering, overcoming your reasoning and your logic, you tend to respond to that toxicity as a threat, and it changes your whole attitude toward the overdose.
Yeah, nausea tends to kind of take over, and nothing else matters.
No, no.
Large animal bioassay, that's our favorite lab. You know, I love that. Large animal bioassay.
Well, yes, but when the nausea strikes quickly and there's no psychological contribution of anything, then you are obviously in some toxic situation. You have cases where you have nausea in taking peyote or taking these materials, where there is a period of nausea, and some people look forward to it as being the introduction to the activity of the compound. Some people try to avoid it. And yet the peyote ceremonies that are held in Mexico, Chihuahua, up in southern part of the United States, all these ceremonies, the peyote is taken over the period of a few hours. And it's not taken all at once, as we have a tendency to use drugs. Down it goes, and we'll see what happens. You take it over the course an hour, then an hour later we'll have a little bit more, hour later we have a little bit more. And this avoids the nausea. Much of the nausea is avoided because you do not have an impact of a toxic material all at once in the stomach not being able to handle it. So the idea of going to the Indian mode of avoiding poisoning, having a gentle onset and a gentle termination of the experience over the course of 8, 10, 12 hours instead of over the course of 5 or 6 hours avoids a great deal of this poisoning.
Say that again.
Benzene rings basically do not break down in the body. Oh no! You've upset the dietary balance of the gut. You've maybe had some food 3 hours ago that is now suddenly brought out into a new form, and it's poisonous to the body. There are a number of different reasons for this toxicity, but no, it's not a. It's often a metabolic change of the molecule from something that is benign to something that is intrinsically difficult to handle biologically. Benzene rings are pretty much stable in the body, and they will be substituted, they can be oxidized, they can be changed, but they do not really disappear from being benzene rings. They stay intact. Oh no, they're excreted as byproducts of drugs.
All right. This has been just part of a lifelong dialogue that Ann and Sasha have been having with many of us, and it will continue for many times. Thank you so much for coming. We have a lecture.